And just like that, the Seahawks are one win away from the Super Bowl. A hard-nosed performance in front of a record crowd at CenturyLink Field. 68,388 fans on hand to watch a 23-15 divisional playoff win over the New Orleans Saints. And that means the Seahawks will host the winner of the Niners and Panthers in the NFC Championship game a week from tomorrow on Championship Sunday, January 19th. By the way, you can see the Niners and Panthers tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on Q13 Fox. This is Seahawks Game Day. Aaron Levine alongside former Seahawks Max Strong and Dave Wyman. We'll have reaction from head coach Pete Carroll and the players coming up a little close for comfort. In fact, we're going to go straight out to CenturyLink Field right now. Pete Carroll addressing the media.
9 starts under his belt before today, and we just thought with the 2 weeks, if we gave him a shot, he might, be ahead at the job at this time. And so after the 2 weeks of looking at him, we said, let's go for it. And so he did a nice job today, I would think. I really don't know that until I see the film.
Those offense changed with Percy out and looked like there was.
Well, I think the game's a little bit different. We played a little more conservatively. We were backed up in the first part of the third quarter, really through most of the third quarter, and we tried to we were trying to make sure that we were really sound and solid, and if we had to kick the ball, we kicked the ball. That changed us a little bit, but it certainly seemed like he had a contribution that was obvious, and we saw him almost pop that run. We had him going on the edge and made a big third down play, and just unfortunately got smacked a couple times, and he couldn't stay out there.
They got nothing out of their screen game. Can you talk about your plan?
They might have thrown 6 of them, There was 6 or 7 of them, and it's been a big part of their game. Our guys did a great job. Unfortunately, we had that big penalty called. We saw it so well that we got a holding penalty on it. But we had a lot of respect for their screen approach, multiple ways, all different kinds of actions and things. And I thought that was a big positive for us on a day when it's hard to throw it. That's what they were going to, and we were able to really knock those down. I think they had very, very little production out of the screen game, and so it was a good part of the defense's work.
Was it a huge advantage when you had the win on your side offensively today?
The kicking was really the part of it. We were worried about the kicks and stuff, and I think Hauska did a great job kicking field goals. You saw how hard it was for their guy. So it was a factor, and so it was enough of a factor. We respected it today and played to it.
The long throw to Meacham, was that one of the more random things you've ever seen?
The tip ball? Yeah, that was too bad. I mean, we can't play a ball better. We got 2 guys, going up for the interception. And you really in football you don't, call a guy off like you do in baseball. The center fielder is in charge of that. You really don't do that. Guys go for the ball. Look at last week we had 3 guys going for it. So we're hawked the football pretty good, and unfortunately they win a 52-yard play out of that thing. Is just unfortunate. I think we held up there. They missed a field goal, but still that was a big field changer, and it was pretty discouraging at the time.
Any other injuries besides Percy?
I didn't get any other ones at this time. Don't know.
You held Jimmy Graham from catch in the final drive there. What was the game plan against him?
Well, we hopefully demonstrated a lot of respect for him. We think he's a great player, and he's a huge target for them, and almost 150 targets coming in. So we wanted to make sure that we had guys in his area, and we played a lot of zone. In our man-to-man stuff, we changed, different guys covered him, and, so all of that was just to give them a variety of stuff. Remember last time KJ did such a good job on him, we thought we needed to adapt a little bit without his, his work out there. So, but he didn't seem like he had a big game today. I don't even know his numbers. I don't know what he did.
Anything else?
All right. Let's go.
Head coach Pete Carroll addressing the media at CenturyLink Field. He says there are no injuries except for Percy Harvin, who left the game with a concussion. He hopes Harvin will be back next week. A little close for comfort, guys, but a gritty performance by the Hawks. A Seahawks postseason record, 140 yards by Marshawn Lynch, and the defense was just fantastic as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need that type of performance from your all-pro running back. I mean, Marshawn Lynch, he was really balanced, I think, in both halves. I mean, the first half he had 15 carries. I think in the second half he had 13 carries, right around the same number of yardage, and that's what you're going to need in the postseason, especially as these games come down to inclement weather like what you had today. Good defenses, good defensive play. I mean, whoever we play next week, either the Carolina Panthers or the San Francisco 49ers, going to play really stout defense. So it's going to come down to being able to run the ball. We weren't able to throw it at all with hardly any effectiveness today, but running the football definitely helped us get this win big time today.
You wonder how much the weather had an effect on the passing game. I've never seen Drew Brees look as bad as he looked in that first half. Really bad, but a great job by the defense holding that offense to only 113 yards in the first half, and that's the number 4 offense defense in the NFL. But I thought they did 3 things really well today that they need to do in the playoffs, and that's the running game. They ran for 175 yards. They went +1 in the turnover ratio. And then defense, I mean, although, you know, they gave up about 300 yards in the second half, 52 of it coming on kind of a fluke play where guys, you know, could have easily had an interception. But, you know, the defense did their job in the first half, and then the second half they did enough to win. So, you know, I think, you know, that's going to be probably what the games look like, because in the NFC, until you get to the Super Bowl, there's a lot of the teams that are left now, the 3 that are left, which is Carolina, San Francisco, and Seattle, not a lot of offense out of those teams. They rank in the bottom part of the league as far as offense goes, but they're all top 5 defenses.
Well, both touchdowns, by the way, of note, by Marshawn Lynch, registered on the seismometers set up by the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network at CenturyLink Field. One of the most clutch catches of the game came on the game-clinching touchdown drive by Doug Baldwin. He caught up with our Ian Furness.
Well, Aaron, the offense struggled a little bit tonight, but when they needed a big play, they went to number 89. Doug Baldwin made it a huge conversion, and then Beast Mode 2 run for the touchdown after that. Let's talk about the play. A little fade down the sideline, just a great play all the way around.
Yeah, well, I started off in the slot, and I got a good release on the guy, and I kind of had to wait on him to set the play up. But Russell threw a beautiful ball in a perfect spot and gave me an opportunity to go up and make a play.
Doug, that kind of seems to be Russell Wilson. I mean, I think we'd all be honest and say that wasn't his best game, his most accurate game, but he needed to make a play, and he needed to make a perfect throw there, correct? And he did.
Yeah, he did, definitely. And, you know, all week I've just told him, I said, just put a little air on it and give us an opportunity to go up and jump for the ball. And he did, like I said, perfectly, a perfect ball today.
What was your view on the run by Marshawn Lynch? That was special again.
Yeah, it was definitely special, but you got to give credit to the guys who were blocking for him. The offensive line, they mauled the D-line and pushed them back, and then my man Jermaine Kearse came and sealed the end and gave Marshawn an opportunity to run out to the outside, and Marshawn did the rest.
You want to give some credit. Let's talk about Michael Bowie. He goes in there, gets his start at guard, and boy, he looked like he played a very good football game.
Yeah, he definitely did. You know, all week we told him, you know, don't try to do anything outside of what you've been doing. Just keep doing what you've been doing in practice, and we got your back. And he did an awesome, fantastic job tonight.
Doug, this was a game that was maybe too close for comfort at times. There were some drop balls, dropped interceptions, missed plays. In the end, you guys were able to finish. What was the difference?
That's a good question. I mean, I just think we lasted longer. You know, just whatever. They just ran out of time. To be honest with you, you know, I think that they got a wonderful team over there, a very competitive team, and they just run out of time. But we were fortunate enough to have a defense of stop when we needed them to, and our offense got the ball rolling on that last drive, like you said.
How much difference did the crowd make and the weather make for both teams?
It was huge. I mean, we, you know, as humans, you can't help but fall into those distractions, but we try not to control or worry about those things because we can't control them. But the weather was definitely a factor. It was hard to catch the ball, hard to grip the ball, and then the crowd itself was just unbelievable. But we knew that was going in, that the 12th man was going to be unbelievable for us.
Are you going to watch some football tomorrow, and do you have a rooting interest?
I might be in the cold tub the whole day tomorrow, but I'm going to try to catch some football.
Anybody you want to see next week?
It doesn't matter. I'm just thankful and blessed that we have an opportunity to play next week.
Heck of a game, heck of a catch. Biggest play offensively of the game. Nice job.
Thank you, sir.
There you go, Doug Baldwin. Can you smile for us? There you go, huh? There you got a smile, Aaron. Back to you.
That's a first all season. Love to see him smiling out there. Hope he has a TV close to that cold tub as well. We're going to get back to Ian with players in just a bit. Let's talk about that last touchdown drive, though. A 3rd and 3 pass to Doug Baldwin. Talk about a gutsy call.
Yeah, it was. It was big time, man. Whenever they needed a play, that's what they usually do. They usually stack those 2 receivers on the same side, Doug Baldwin and Golden Tate. You saw it was a little bit of a delay play by Doug Baldwin, just letting Golden sort of clear his guy out, and then the guy who was guarding him man-to-man had to hesitate just a little bit and let Doug get out ahead of him, and then just a great touch pass by Russell Wilson. I mean, didn't have a lot of great throws today, but that was probably one of the biggest throws, obviously, of the game, and helped set up, you know, an opportunity for Marshawn Lynch to punch it in after that.
I think Doug Baldwin should get more credit for making that catch. I mean, the wind, the rain, and he has to make all the adjustment. I mean, it was a good throw by Russell, but that was a difficult catch to make. And then that led later to the Marshawn Lynch touchdown run, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so Mac and I were sitting in there. Yeah, Mac and I were sitting there going, wouldn't it be nice if they had another beast mode type of run to close this thing out? And it wasn't quite as glorious as that run, but it was nice.
One of the guys blocking for beast mode on that last touchdown run, left guard Michael Bowie, standing by live with Ian Furness. Ian?
Aaron, thank you very much. One of the big surprises before the game, we got the inactives and lineup changes, and there at left guard was Michael Bowie. We saw him this year at tackle. With 11 starts at tackle, you're in at left guard. When did you find out you were starting?
They let me know Monday, so it was a good time to prepare, get my technique and assignments right. So, yeah.
This is a team, and Pete Carroll, I know, ever since he got here 4 years ago, but he's always said the same thing. It's all about competition. It really doesn't matter who it is. If you compete and you're in a spot, you're in there. And I'm sure for a guy like you, hey, you wanted to prove yourself. And do you feel like, hey, you finally were able to get that chance?
Yeah, I think I did that. But I still got a lot of stuff to get better at, and I can only improve from here. But I'm just glad that Coach Carroll gave me an opportunity.
All right, so you started at tackle 11 times this season and filling in for some injuries and so forth, but then you're moved inside. It's a different position, and it's a playoff game. How challenging was that?
It was very challenging, but, you just got to trust your ability, trust your technique, trust the guys next to you, trust your coaches, and once all that's taken care of, you can just play ball and move quick.
It was an awful physical, chippy, kind of emotional game out there. How much talking was going on?
It was a bunch of talking, but we try not to do too much of it on our offensive line. But, guys were intense out there and trying to start stuff, but just got to play ball.
Michael, everyone talked about, boy, if they get Marshawn Lynch going, this team's a hard team to beat. And obviously Russell Wilson didn't have his best game. He was 9 of 18. But when you get 24 back there, how much fun is it to block for a guy like that?
Man, it's crazy. When you got a guy like that that can tote that ball like that, you can't do nothing but just be amazed when he run the ball. It's like we respect him, because how hard he runs, and he's just a beast, man.
Give us your view of the big run at the end to kind of put the game away.
Well, once I seen him break the line of scrimmage, I seen him. He was looking at the guy that was trying to tackle him. I was like, yeah, he's not going to tackle him one-on-one. He's going to the house. So that's my thoughts on that.
You were in college when he did it the last time against this team. Did it kind of look familiar when you saw that?
That one when I was in college was crazy, but that one right there that we just did, that was big too.
Well, listen, Jordan Hicks and company. That's a big defensive line. Whoever you see next week is going to be maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit badder. Does it matter who you see next week?
No, it doesn't matter, man. Like I said, I just trust my technique, trust my ability, and the rest to take care of itself.
Well, congratulations. Heck of a first start. Nice win. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Michael Bowie, Aaron. Here's a guy that's maybe the line the Seahawks have at tackle, and they may have found their left guard.
It's nice to see. He passed the test today, and we always love the game-clinching touchdown runs by Marshawn Lynch against New Orleans in the playoffs, don't we?
Yeah, that's a popular one there. I thought we saw a new Marshawn, well, not a new Marshawn, but the old Marshawn come back. Over the last few weeks, I'd have to say I thought he was maybe doing a little bit too much dancing, sort of side to side, and he was more definitive of hitting the gaps, I thought, today. Just one break and then straight up field, and I thought he looked a little bit different today, and that's why he had 140 yards. So that's exactly what you need going into the playoffs.
Well, I think it was obviously, too, what Michael Bowie was able to do. I think just being in there at left guard, just getting covering this guy up. I think a lot of that sort of indecision by Marshawn Lynch last couple of weeks because he was kind of getting hit in the backfield. You didn't see a whole lot of that today. You saw Michael Bowie coming off the ball along with Unger and Okung on that left side, really create some scenes for Marshawn. He was able to sort of get his pads going north and south and not be a lot real herky-jerky or anything like that. A couple times he had to make a guy miss in the hole and made him look really bad. David Hawthorne comes to mind, but really just being able to lower his shoulder and make extra yards down the field, that's what Marshawn Lynch is good at. And it's good to see Michael Bowie step in and really play really well.
It was Marshawn's first 100-yard rushing game since the Atlanta Falcons game. We even joked about it last week. He's just saving those 100-yard rushing games for the postseason. His third career postseason game over 100 yards, and he did it in big fashion today. 140 total yards for Marshawn Lynch, on the run. In the running game, at least. Let's